Hello, gentle marketers. Welcome to episode 17 of the Gentle Business Revolution podcast, a show where we talk about marketing your business by disrupting the current marketing paradigm. I'm Sarah Sinacroce. I'm your host here, and you know that you're in the right place if you are a heart-centered entrepreneur or change maker who is looking for a better way to market your business. Or you are an entrepreneur who's simply tired of the traditional marketing model and are ready for a paradigm shift. Real quick before I begin, in a few weeks, a new live program round starts on January 28th. This is the program that I keep talking about on this show, and I run it live only twice per year in January and in September. And I would love for you to check out the full details at thegentlemarketingrevolution.com to see if it's a good fit for you. Another option for you to find out more about this topic and my work is to join us for a free 5-day Gentle Marketing Intensive I'm hosting. It starts January 13th. Besides a daily email prompt, we'll also meet for 3 live workshops via Zoom. The topics of these workshops are the following: the one-page marketing plan, so going over the 7 P's we always talk about on this show, the cause of marketing anxiety and the cure. And the final one is marketing is a creative process, and I'll share some really creative approaches to marketing. I would love to get to meet you during these 5 days. Find out more and sign up at bit.ly.com/gentle marketing intensive. So back to today's episode. I thought it'd be fun to do an episode at the end of each season with an update on where I'm at with the book. Now that I'm saying that, I don't even remember if I have officially announced it on the show that I'm writing a book. I think I shared it on my list, but I'm not sure if I actually shared it here. But anyway, now you know I'm writing a book with the working title, The Gentle Business or Gentle Marketing Revolution. Not sure yet which one. So back in 2018, when I reserved the domain name for thegentlebusinessrevolution.com, I immediately knew that I will write a book one day. And I think I already knew it would be 2020. It seems like a good year to write a book or get married, but I'm already happily married, so there, I'm writing a book instead this year. So on today's episode, I want to share how I went from an idea to actually start writing it, because a lot of people have an idea to write a book, right? But one actually needs to sit down and write it and get organized and all of that. So all of last year, people told me, you should write a book. And there was always a lot of resistance in my body when I heard that. I'm a rebel at heart. So I'm like, when somebody tells me I should do something, my immediate reaction is, you don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do it when it's a good time for me. But I just knew it was not the time to write it. So I think that's the first important lesson. It's really listening to the signs. And I think in your body, you'll know when it's the right time to write this book. So once I decided now is the time, I started looking for resources, very pragmatic resources. So not about writing styles or things like that, because I'm not writing a novel. Now, if you think writing a business book is hard, try writing a novel. That's really hard. I wanted very pragmatic resources to get organized, because I think once you are organized and once you have an outline, then the writing part is actually not so overwhelming anymore. So that's just me. That's just how I work. I know my good friend Valerie, for example, she shared with me that she only writes when she feels the inspiration to write. And that works for her. But for me, I need systems, I need routines, I need accountability. It's all that generator energy and that, kind of like in the roots. So yeah, I need a very systematized approach. So I looked at some authors that I liked and researched whether they shared any resources. And I came across Jenny Blake, who's the author of Pivot, whose podcast I've been a big fan of already. And I loved her heart-centered and yet very systematized approach. And of course, thanks to Serendipity, she had an amazing author resource actually available on her website. Like, for example, she shares an entire book proposal template, and I highly recommend you check that out. If you're an aspiring author, you can go to pivotmethod.com/behind the book, behind the dash book. So that's what I started using, and I started to get organized. And yes, again, in full serendipity mode, Jenny happened to offer direct access to her in a small VIP mastermind. And so I signed up for that. And in November, we started working together. And I knew I needed support. And I'm so grateful she showed up at the right time. You know what they say, when the student is ready and all that. So here's where I'm at right now. I finished the outline, and now I'm working on fine-tuning the proposal. I decided to have a proposal ready, but at the same time also start writing the book. If it's meant to be that the book is published with a publisher, then I'm of course going to be open to that and find it super exciting. But I'm also open to self-publishing. So for now, I just want to be in this positive energy of writing. Oh, and I also almost forgot to share that last summer, I actually did sit down and write the Gentle Business Manifesto. If you haven't seen that yet, you can download it at thegentlebusinessrevolution.com, no opt-in. And this was just a quick write. I had it written in probably 2 months maybe. And it really has already helped me get clear on my topic. And I used it to, get featured on podcasts and just kind of to get my ideas out. And now I'll also be able to use that in the intro of my book. So hopefully at the end of the next season of this podcast, I can read you one of the chapters or at least part of it. For now, I thought I'd share kind of how I structured the book and, just kind of chapter by chapter, how I organized it. So let me go through it with you. Obviously, you can't see my Excel spreadsheet, but I'm trying to explain it to you. So I've basically broken it into 4 different parts plus an intro. So the intro is kind of going into what's broken, what's no longer working in the current marketing paradigm. Then part 1, I called the part Rumble. So Rumble, forget your client's avatar, start with yourself. So that's where we're starting with the end in mind. And really imagining our last day of life. How do you know you have been successful? So that's chapter 1. Chapter 2, jump to the beginning. Who were you when you were 7 years old? What's your story? So really figuring out who we are and what our story is. Chapter 3 is end with the why. Now that you know who you are, let's find out what you're passionate about. So that's kind of like, a little clin d'oeil. How do you say that in English? A wink to Simon Sinek, start with the why. I'm saying end with the why. So that's the first part. So first part is Rumble. Then the second part is Rise. So stop conforming, give yourself permission to be different and rise. Chapter 1, fuel your marketing superpower, identify and amplify your unique and quirky superpowers. Chapter 2, have fun, let go of perfection and experiment with ease. Chapter 3, rise together, stop beating your competition, create partnerships instead. And that's all for this part 2. Then part 3, I called it Resonate. So Rumble, Rise, Resonate. Resonate, stop chasing after clients, instead attract those who are in harmony with your beliefs and guiding principles. Chapter 1, find your people. Don't worry about demographics, instead aim for a common vibration. Chapter 2, show them that you care. Bye-bye fear and manipulation. Hello, empathy. Chapter 3, bring more of you to your marketing. Customer-centric marketing is overrated. Tell more of your stories. Chapter 4, make it beautiful. When you're in your flow state, creativity and beauty happen organically. And that's the end of the part 3 that I called Resonate. And then finally, part 4 is all about integration, one step at a time. Chapter 1, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So that's about integrating with small steps. Chapter 2, a reinvented version of the 7 P's of marketing. So that's where I go into my mandala with the 7 P's. Chapter 3, is it really just business? So really explaining that this new perspective on marketing does not just have an impact on business, but it has an impact on ourselves, on the human being, on the entrepreneur, and it applies to all parts of life, right? And finally, chapter 4, tools and rituals to help you integrate the tactics, routines, and habits of gentle marketers. And then I'm ending with just a standalone chapter, how to apply gentle marketing in businesses. So not just for solopreneurs, but also in bigger businesses. I'm thinking of businesses that have the label, I can't think of the name right now, the B Corp label, the B Corp certification. So how to apply channel marketing in businesses like that. So there you have it. That's kind of what I have for now. That's what I'll be working on over the next months. And I hope you found this interesting to kind of get this behind the scenes look at how I'm writing this book. Obviously, all of this is, as you can imagine, all just like brand new to me. I've never written a book before. So yeah, it's not like I'm an expert at this, but I'll try to be at the end of it. So there you have it. That's it for this episode of the Gentle Business Revolution. Please, you can find the show notes of this episode at sarahsanacroce.com GBR17. Also, a quick reminder that I would love to get to meet you during the 5 days of the Gentle Marketing Intensive. And you can find out all about it and sign up at bit.ly/Gentle Marketing Intensive. Next week, I'm back with season 4, and we'll start with an episode on Ikigai, the Japanese recipe for happiness. I hope you'll join me on this journey to a kinder marketing paradigm. Please invite your friends to join us by sharing this podcast or the Gentle Business Manifesto with them. Both can be found at thegentlebusinessrevolution.com. And yeah, a review on iTunes or an email from you would totally make my day. Until next week, Happy New Year and be the change you want to see in the world. See you soon.